Evolution Battle Ram in a nutshell. Evolution Battle Ram and normal Battle Ram both have the same charge speed, but unlike the Battle Ram, which would break on impact with any buildings, Evolution Battle Ram would ram buildings continuously until it gets taken out. This also goes for buildings other than the crown towers, and hitting buildings does not reset its charge, which means with something tanking for it or some funny heals, it can deal a ridiculous amount of damage to towers. This also means it works great with rage or even freeze, as it helps the evolved Battle Ram grab a few more connections. Looking at how Battle Ram spawns normal barbarians, apparently Clash Royale thought it was funny if Evolution Battle Ram spawns evolved barbarians. How nice of them. And for some reason, like a car, evolved Battle Ram will run over swarms like skeletons or even stabby goblins, making it basically immune to skeleton army or goblin gangs. And if the troops are higher in HP, instead of dying, they will be pushed back. So far, it would technically guarantee at least one tower connection on your crown towers. And before you think you're smart enough by trying to use a troop that's quote-unquote immune to pushback like P.E.K.K.A, think again, because evolved Battle Ram is strong enough to even push a golem or anything in the game really. Well, except another evolved Battle Ram, because I have no idea why. A thing to note is each troop only gets pushed back once. However, if it kills a troop that spawns other troops, those count as separate, so they would get pushed back as well. All this pushback, splash damage on charges, and multiple ramming may make it look like it has no counters, but don't worry. The first thing one can think of is staying away from the evolved Battle Ram to avoid pushback. This means ranged troops are worth considering, as they would be immune to its mechanics, but the downside is usually their damage isn't high enough to catch it before it connects. And even if they had the damage, evolved barbarians will go to the tower because ranged troops are typically gonna be farther than the crown tower. The same exact rules and downsides also apply to air troops, as the evolved Battle Ram can't target them, but so can't the evolved barbarians, which leaves your tower exposed. There are ways to avoid pushback with ground troops. Bear with me, this is gonna be a ride. So what I discovered is that if a troop was already inside the pushback radius before the evolved Battle Ram starts charging, it's basically immune to both the damage and the pushback of the evolved Battle Ram. For example, if I placed an Ice Wizard like this, he will be immune to the pushback until I tornado him away, then he would get pushed back because he left the area and entered it again. Now I'm not sure if it's a glitch, but if you're gonna be playing the Battle Ram, just to be safe, I would suggest to play it a bit behind to avoid mini P.E.K.K.As placed directly on it. But that still doesn't make it impossible to stop. Evolution Battle Ram is not immune from pushback, so things like Log and Snowball work well against it. And you can imagine the things Bowler does to that fancy pencil. It's also very weak to stuns, so E-Wiz, E-Drag, Zappies and other electric cards are amazing against it. Dude, even E-Giant can stop it once, since it technically attacked him with that pushback. And that also includes the snare from the Ram Rider, which is way more effective than you would imagine. Just make sure to place her a bit away from the evolved Battle Ram so the pushback doesn't damage her. That means something as stupid as an Ice Spirit with a mini P.E.K.K.A would completely shut it down. Fisherman is a hilariously efficient counter as well, like for 3 elixir, the whole thing is gone with no damage on your crown towers. And while the Battle Ram can cancel the Dark Prince's charge, actually normal Prince and Royal Recruits have a longer lance range, allowing it to connect before getting pushed back. And while the Bandit can get her dash through, it still pushes her back. However, the Mega Knight jumping on it would push back the Evolution Battle Ram, stopping the charge and stopping the Mega Knight from getting pushed back by it. But dropping the Mega Knight directly on it would push him back because the spawned units come before the effect. This also applies on the Electro Wizard and the Ice Wizard. And for buildings, while spawners aren't that fancy since the Evolution Battle Ram for some reason kills the death spawn as well. Defensive buildings seem to do somewhat of an okayish job against it, Tesla definitely being the best one so far. And my favorite counter is... if Evolved Battle Ram spawns Evolved Barbarians, do you think Evolved Graveyard would spawn Evolved Skeletons, my dudes?